going to show you a quick technique using the Vlieseline waist shaper. If you want more information about the waist shaper, then please check out our YouTube video. The Vlieseline waist shaper is fusible on one side and it's not fusible on the dull side. Place the fusible side on the reverse of your fabric and you are going to press it in place. You have two options. You could either cut your fabric to the exact width of the waist shaper before you start to fuse, or alternatively you could always fuse the waist shaper first and then trim it down. Using a medium setting on your iron, which is the two dots. If you notice, I'm pressing, not ironing. And you can use a little bit of steam in your iron or alternatively a damp cloth. The waist shaper is suitable for all fabrics. Once it's fused on, you're going to trim down to the exact length. The application I'm going to use this is for dressmaking, for waistbands in skirts, trousers. So therefore follow your pattern guidelines as to the length of the waist shaper that you will require. Now the one thing I want to tell you about is a lot of the dressmaking patterns will refer to using interfacing in your waistbands, but they will not reference waist shaper. The waist shaper is a perfect product because with the perforated lines, it allows for perfect seam allowances. It also gives enough rigidity so the waistband will not crumple. Once you've prepared your waistband and you've trimmed down all of the excess fabric, if you can imagine that this is a skirt or a trouser front, you're going to place the waistband so the right side of the fabric is with the right side of the piece that you're working with. And this is where these perforated lines come into their own, because not only are they ideal for seams, but we're going to use this top one as a guide for our stitching line. Now I'm going to pin the waist shaper to my project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark with a pen exactly where I'm going to sew. So we are breaking the rules a little bit with regards to the 5/8, but this is going to give you a perfect finish. You don't want to sew in the centre of the perforations or below the perforations. You want to sew just on the top of the perforations. Can you see where I'm drawing this line here? And we're going to use that line as a guide. And it will all become clear when I show you and when we turn the waistband over. I've popped the waist shaper and the garment into my sewing machine. Now on your foot of your sewing machine, you'll either have a groove in the centre. This is the basic utility foot that comes with the machine, or some machines actually have a red line. Just line that groove or that red line up, remember, with the top line of the perforation, and you're just going to stitch along. The stitch length can just be your regular 2.5 that you use. And take your time. You're literally using that groove. You don't need to concentrate on anything else other than the groove on the top part of that perforation. So as you can see, I've sewn along that top line of the perforations, and I'm just going to remove the pins. Now, what you're going to do is you can press in along the perforated line and along that middle line. And what would happen is, as we bring this over, we can position the waist shaper to cover the stitched line. Now the beauty about using the top of the perforated lines, it's just given us a little bit extra, so when we come to top stitch, we can guarantee to get the bottom, the underneath of the garment in. It's so easy to miss it because you are going to stitch in the ditch along here. To a nice neat edge for the fastening that you choose to use, simply place the waist shaper so it's right sides together, just making sure that the bottom edge marries up. Stitch down that short side. Do a little reverse stitch at the beginning, stitch to the end, and a reverse stitch. Take it out of the machine, and when you turn it through, you will get a nice, neat finish on the corner of the waist shaper for your fastening. As you can see, Vlieseline has a wide range of products, each with different properties and benefits for your projects. You can view the whole range on the Vlieseline website, where you can download the brochure, which has detailed information on all of the products across our 4 categories. You can also join the conversation with us on our Facebook page, Creative Community Group and Instagram. All of the details are below.